Dear Browning community, not so much the kids, but I guess the adults, but I very much want the Browning kids to see this video. And I apologize if I'm talking softly, but I have people sleeping here. What is wrong with truth? You guys live in a world that champions a complete disregard for truth. So my overarching question to you is, what is wrong with truth? What is wrong with it? Okay, it hurts people's feelings. It could be demoralizing. It could make other people behave badly, perhaps evilly. Nevertheless, it's truth. Isn't truth the most important guidepost to evolution intellectually, to highest morality and to exploration? If you can't be truthful, then you have no anchor, do you? You don't know if you're steering correctly or incorrectly. But let me just state so many obvious things that you people are so sick that you won't admit. And there's nothing wrong with them. If you just accept truth, you can then erect a healthy society through dealing with these truths for better and worse situations. For example, different races have different IQs. This has been proven ad nauseum. Blacks average have 85 IQs. Hispanics have average, I could be wrong here, I think it's 89 or 91. Whites have average IQs of 100. Asians have average IQs of 106. Ashkenazi Jews have average IQs of 112. And we can see their intellectual abilities through their societies that they built. Look at Africa. Look at Mexico in that area. Look at Europe. Look at Asia. Look at Israel. I wrote a book about this. You can allude to it, called The Catastrophe of Multi-Ethnic Society. Why can't you admit these things? It's truth. That's all it is. Why am I bad for admitting this? I understand that you think blacks specifically are going to feel demoralized. No, they might feel somewhat demoralized, but then they can be educated by the adults in their community to say, it doesn't matter so much that you might on the whole be less intelligent than Asians or whites. So what? You're spiritually equal to everyone. We will help you. Go as far as you can. If you can't be a rocket scientist, fine. Be a supervisor of an office. That's a very noble job. We need supervisors of offices, or offices will be unsupervised. We need everything in a society. Or let's say you have an IQ of 65. Okay, fine. Be a doorman. We need doormen. Doorman is a noble job. Things are what they are. Why must we lie? It is the wrong way. Let's go on. Men, on the whole, are more analytical and thus better at things such as science and computer science, natural sciences, for example, than women. Women are naturally nurturing, obviously, because they, through evolution, have to nurture the young, and men have to go out and hunt and make decisions about life or death. It's just obvious as can be. Why are we hiding from this? Why can't we all try to achieve greatness as cultures and as societies through truth? What is wrong with that? To say that men are typically better at logical things, analytical things, and also because they are more physically intimidating, which is an instinctive appreciation, that they are better at situations, jobs that require either intimidation or intimidation is integral to the success of the job, such as being a captain of a team or a CEO of a company or a negotiator, etc. Okay, if women can do it well by using their sexuality, then that's great too. Why can't we admit these things? Why can't we admit these things? Why can't we admit that a man is most physically attractive to a woman if he embraces his natural male qualities, such as dominance, breaking through barriers, decisiveness, sense of destiny, directness, and cultivate that, and cultivate the opposite in women, which is beautiful: submissiveness, mysteriousness, insecurity, nurturing, supporting. And if we have a Joan of Arc, we celebrate that. But it's not typical. Why can't we admit that? The silly argument is, oh, because we don't want to oppress women. We don't oppress women by admitting nature. If a woman is dominant and a leader, we champion that. But we're not going to force them into being independent professionals in which in the end they will be going against their natural instinct and suffer depression and screw society up in all different ways and have submissive men and have no sexual chemistry. And now we're all high on Prozac and Xanax. It's terrible. Why can't we admit truth? Why can't we admit true history? Why can't we do that? It's truth. Why are we supporting Omar Qureshi, who explicitly says it's, I'll paraphrase, it's on my banner there, it is certainly unwise to teach history as it really was. History as such may not have such a meaning. That's crazy. That is crazy. Are you hearing me? To be a professional history teacher who asserts that history taught as it was may not have much meaning is crazy. You adults, by employing Omar Qureshi, are insane. You're insane. How can I get that through to your mind, man? You're corrupting these little kids' brain to making little baby Omar Qureshi's, and you have no anchor, and you're making a sick society. We just had Joe Biden elected, to my great depression. Look at his acceptance speech. We are going to embrace, and it's not about philosophical ideas. It's not about how to solve problems. Don't we want to elect a leader by the ability for him to lead us through problems? Why do we have to elect a woman because she has a vagina and has a Hispanic or an Indian or a black heritage? Why can't we elect someone, whether they're male or female or black or white or blue, by how well they can solve problems? Why are we all about these glass ceilings? This is crazy. How can I get this through to you people? This is crazy. And to make false history, how come in the history books we never hear that 100%, look it up if you disagree, 100% of blacks in the slave trade were sold by other blacks? There weren't white raids in Africa. Find me one historical example. You'll find a lot of propaganda, lies. It's not true. And that makes a very big difference in the morality of this slave trade. Why can't we just tell the truth? Whites have done everything they can for blacks. How come blacks never say thank you? And you know what? I know the answer. It's not the blacks' fault. It's society's fault. We call it cultural communism, cultural Marxism. Why do you guys put up with it? Why can't you just stand in front of your peers and say, this is all wrong. We are wrong. We are teaching evil. We need to admit reality that, among other things as well, white people have an indigenous culture in America. It was formed by white people. Obviously, this is European culture. It used to be. Why is the society so eager to tear away that indigenous culture from the whites? We're still a majority. Why are we going to uproot our history, our heritage for our native people? Why would you do that? You say, and then again, the leftists love to say, oh, the American Indians were here first, we were evil. Well, let me say this among other arguments. Do two wrongs make a right? Do two wrongs make a right? If indeed, and I'm not submitting this, but if indeed we were so wrong to conquer the Native Americans, isn't it wrong to conquer the native white culture here? You people, do you even realize that these minorities don't respect you? Why should they? You are eagerly suiciding your own culture. If white people asserted themselves as they should and say, we are the majority culture, we are the majority race, we founded this country, we have a moral right to being a dominant culture. You come here, fine, if we let you here, you have a moral right to defer to the majority culture. It doesn't mean that we want to dominate over you. It means that we were here. It's our culture. See this lie of white supremacy? It's a lie. It's a lie. Diversity? It's a lie. No one wants diversity. We want some 10%, 15% immigrants is nice because we like to help people. We get a little bit of flavor and we can all get along. It is not correct to destroy society and to make whites into the minority, where they naturally instinct of other people will then hate them, and there will be massive anti-white racism in a certain way, as there should be, because look how pathetic whites are, allowing their females to be diminished, and then the white males have less of a pleasure to look for a wider variety of females, and vice versa. Our white males are less. And we have all these different cultures raging, and we have music on the radio that is so foreign to us. And now, instead of people being the best they can be, we have everything's a racial quota, a diversity quota. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. Your utopian leftist paradise is really hell on earth. And we're 50% in it. And now you guys elect Biden and Harris, and it's all about race and feminine, masculine, gender, homosexual, everything. Why are any of these issues at all? Why isn't it, we're going to make it great America? Why isn't it, do not ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country? How come we don't learn that anymore? You guys understand that if JFK was here today, he'd be a right-winger? You don't understand that because you're all sick. Do you understand that at a right-wing social gathering, we talk about ideas, and people like me can talk about ideas, politically correct or incorrect, and we enjoy that intellectual activity? You people, you can't do that. All you can do is talk about the narrative, the false narrative of how great everything is. And it's not great, it's disgusting. I got news for you, zombies. True news. Donald Trump is a deeply loving man. He's also a deeply moral man. That's the truth, as is easily proven in tons of things. All that he did before he was president, as well as the president. But you people are so brainwashed by fake news, you're just convinced he's evil, because you just believe anything. You people are so deeply brainwashed on Trump, I can't even go there right now. So let's stick to the basics. Why do you have to lie about everything? Why do you have to lie about the fact that normal people prefer to have a majority race, their majority race and culture, and they want to defend it? Why are you so scared to say that? It's the truth. Look at the Browning motto, it's grit. None of you people have grit. Because if you did, you'd be fired. But at least you have grit. That's why people like Sandy PELZ, I don't know if you're watching, Sandy PELZ, you're a good man. You're a very good man unless you changed, but I doubt you have. You're a good man, and you've gone quietly about your business with physics and college placement, and that's very good. I wonder, I really do wonder, if you feel tremendous sadness about the destruction, the evil destruction of the beautiful European culture that was inherited by America. You go to 42nd Street and everything's Burger King, McDonald's, TGI Fridays, AMC movie theaters, Nike, and it's all black, transvestite, and you can't celebrate white heritage. And everyone says this is a great thing and white people are evil. White people have done more for black people than any race has ever done for any other race. They have done more for the world than anybody else. That is obvious. White people have done more for this globe than anybody in the world. You know how many inventions, science, philosophical, literature, you know how much tolerance we've shown? Our problem is we have too much compassion. We've made it into a fetish. And there is so much white oppression, so much anti-white racism. And none of you people can admit it. I am moving in 2 weeks to Slovakia because this country is destroyed now. You people are fast erecting your utopia, where, among other things, by the way, you think it's good to steal from another person. Watch this. That Constitution says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Watch this. I don't want to pay for illegal immigrant health care. I don't want to do it. I'm admitting that to you. I don't want to pay for illegal immigrant health care. I would rather have them know that they have to fend for themselves. And if they can't make it and they're bleeding on the street, they have to die. That's my personal opinion. If you think I'm evil for it, that's your prerogative. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I argue that I'm extremely moral. But this is my point. Who are you to put a gun to my head and tell me that I must pay for that illegal immigrant? Who are you to tell me that? You think it's moral for you to put a gun to my head to do something when that Constitution says I have liberty? Where in the Constitution does it say that you must pay for illegal immigrants? Furthermore, you must call them undocumented migrants instead of illegal aliens. Even everything in your language, everything about you is a lie. It's an immoral lie. This head up his ass moron, he's always been a moron. Nader Mubarak, a class of 91. He says that blacks are consistently abused by the police. You people ever try looking up statistics? You people ever try looking up racial statistics in the police? You ever try doing that? Blacks are coddled. They are coddled by our justice system and our police system. They're coddled. Now, the fact that they commit like 50, literally 50 times more violent assaults than whites or something like that. I have the statistics, but they're from, for example, it's 27 times or 28 times, one of those. I think it's 28. 28 times more likely that a black person will physically assault a white person than a white person a black person. So if you take that, you really think that black people are supposed to be arrested less or even on par with whites or Asians? Asians commit less crime than whites because they're smarter. Because they're smart, they can see that, oh, I will go to jail. This will be bad for me. I better not commit this crime. I better do something better. Blacks have less of an ability to do that. God bless them, but it's true. You people hate truth. You hate it. And while we're on truth, this lie that the left believes in science. No, they don't. The left does not believe in science. If they did, they'd believe in race realism. The utter, scientifically recognized, revealed evidence that blacks are less intelligent than whites, etc. And also regarding global warming, I got to tell you something. I care if my world is frying with global warming. I care, but I am not convinced on the global warming statistics. Do you know why? Because the left lies. All they do is lie. They are crazy about their ideas, so they pay scientists to say either we're going to pay you $80,000 a year to tell us that there's global warming, or we're not going to hire you, or we'll fire you and bury what you find. And that evidence is documented. So me, being as objective as possible, has to come to the conclusion, a frustrating conclusion, which is I don't know if global warming is a serious thing or not, because I can't get true data. And I care. I care. You people say 90% of scientists agree that there's global warming is hurting the environment. That's not true. You know what the real truth is? Look it up. Look this up. 3% of scientists agree that global warming is a serious thing. They took a questionnaire, and there's all these different questions, and they all branch out on how serious it is, A, B, C. What they took is 97% of scientists agree that humanity is adversely affecting the environment in that most general way. And then it goes to like a 76%, do you agree? There's 6, and then all the way down, once the common denominator, it's 3%. By the way, 97% and the 3% does not equal 100%. It's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. But you people just buy it. You just drink. You just drink the Kool-Aid. And every time someone like me comes around, it messes your brain up, and you feel this cognitive dissonance. So what you do, you dismiss me as these buzzwords, a Nazi, a supremacist. I am not these things. Look at the definitions. Can you get my vibe? You just live in lies, and you're creating a horrible society. Why don't you believe in truth? Why don't you look at the philosophical resolutions, the logic to things? What is going to be better for humanity, or one way or the other? Not what feels good. What does good? Not what feels good, what does good. Is it good to tell your kid, oh, it's okay, I'll just keep giving you $100 every week because I love you and it makes me feel good to see you smile, even though when you're 18 you'll know nothing about responsibility and you'll just be an angry dropout? Instead of saying, no, you have to learn the value of the dollar, even though that'll make the child cry, he'll grow up to be a healthy person. Right-wingers do the latter. Left-wingers do the former, which is indicative of the whole thought process. And what really gets me is how arrogant you people are. To think that you know better. You don't, as proven through history. You just lie and lie and lie. And you've destroyed us, and you've destroyed the society to the point where me, being so patriotic, feels compelled to move to Slovakia, where there is still rationality. This country, it's going to be hell. If we continue on this left-wing course, which we've just, again, decided upon, where do you think this country is going to be in 25 years? With all this free everything, white people are bad, no matter what the blacks do, they are encouraged to feel victimized and do nothing. And whatever they do, they're going to get free jobs, free everything. And it's a lie. You're teaching that to blacks. Blacks can achieve a lot if you give them a chance and teach them right. It's not such a handicap that their average IQ is 85. Sure, it's a handicap, but you can get through it. Do your best. We'll help blacks because we have empathy, but not with this sickness that you promote. All right, I'm digressing too much. I'm going to close. I just don't know why you people can't see that the championing of lies is the greatest evil you can do to your culture. This obsession with this communist slicing us all into race, sex, gender, classes. You know, on the back of our coins, e pluribus unum. From many, we are one. From individuals, rugged individuals, we become one nation. You people split us into factions. We got to handle the gays and the Jews and the blacks and the whites and the Hispanics and the Asians and affirmative action. It's so sick. There's no meritocracy. There's nothing beautiful. There's nothing to be there's nothing to be admired about our society anymore. And you destroy history. You say that our founding fathers are evil when they were anything but. I'm not going to give you another history lesson. You're just so evil, man. You just don't know how evil you people are. I wish to God I knew how to communicate to you how deeply evil this society that you are aggressively pushing upon us is. You are promoting pure evil, you people, you leftists. I just wish I knew what I could do to you people to learn. I wish to God I knew how to communicate to you how sick you are. I mean that with the greatest compassion. I just wish to God I could do more to save this culture from its imminent hell.